Hey guys, Hare Krishna, dear friends. This is again Krishna West in Germany, and I have a very special guest here. This is my dear friend Chandrashekhara Acharya Dasa.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Originally from Los Angeles and simultaneously Paris. His father is from Paris and his mother is from Los Angeles, and he has joined the Hare Krishna movement in the year of
1994.
So he's quite a old, we say rabbit in German, ein alter Hase, and he has also a very excellent YouTube channel called
Easy Bhakti.
Easy Bhakti. You really have to check out that channel, and I will put the link to that channel below the video in the description. And Chandrasekhara, we have one question, and we hope to get 3 answers. And that question is, what are the 3 crucial moments in your life in that you have a spiritual experience? That would be interesting.
Well, I would have to say that the first very important spiritual experience I had in my life was when I was 19, and it was a 6-day road trip in an old Volkswagen minivan like they had in the 1960s in the hippie years, from Careyes near Puerto Vallarta in central Mexico on the Pacific coast to San Diego. In short, my parents had a small little country resort, a little home there that we went there on for our Christmas holidays ever since I was a kid, and there was a couple, especially a lady called Tari Benvenuti, and she was from Italy, but she had married a Mexican gentleman, and she held a little shop where she sold Guatemalan textiles and silver, stuff like that. And she was always the spiritual personality in this sort of very jet set resort with a lot of rich people. And she and I had a rapport. And since I was a very small kid, we always had like discussions about spirituality, about God, things like that. So when I went after my college school year was finished, with my dad's permission, from Los Angeles, I flew to this place just to take a 2-week vacation, and it's off season. In June in Mexico it's off season, so there was no one there, but she happened to be there.
Oh.
With her 2 little boys, like a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and she was driving from Guatemala up to San Diego in her minivan Volkswagen with Guatemalan textiles and stuff. So she asked me, listen, can you drive with me and help me with this drive with my 2 little boys? Instead of flying back to Los Angeles, why don't you help me drive up there? So I said fine. So I canceled my flight, and I ended up in this minivan driving for 6 days with Tari and her 2 little boys. And she had already been to India many times. She was a sort of a Shaivite Advaita Vedantist who did meditation, and on the dashboard in front of the, she was driving, and on the dashboard you had Rudraksha beads and incense and pictures of Paramahamsa Yogananda and this Babaji and this Baba and Shiva and stuff like that. And she told me, this trip we're vegetarian, we're not eating any meat. I was already contemplating becoming a vegetarian, and so for this whole trip, all we did was talk about India and spirituality and Hinduism and reincarnation, karma. You should read this book and that book, and that was the first time I did kirtans with her and her 2 little boys, under little trees, eating tortillas and avocado that we had purchased in little, local villages. So by the time I got to San Diego, a week later, I was well on my way in discovering the world of Hinduism, which I hadn't discovered before. Just before, I was interested in Buddhism and stuff, but she really opened the door to what we can say is the Vedic, branches of knowledge. So that was an experience.
Wow. Okay.
The second experience I can talk about that was very significant. Is actually meeting who would eventually become my guru, my spiritual master. I was studying. I was doing a year abroad at the Sorbonne University in Paris, through Cornell University. This was just about maybe 6 months later, and I had received a book by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in the Los Angeles airport about 6 months earlier.
Okay.
And I took that book with me to Paris to start a school year, and somehow I packed that book in my bags of all the things I brought from Los Angeles to Paris, and one day I was reading it, and I couldn't really understand Prabhupada's language that much, but I saw in the back of the book there were all these, list of addresses and phone numbers, ISKCON centers worldwide. So I called the Paris number, and fortunately someone answered.
You checked it out.
To check it out. What is this, And then I saw one gentleman answered the phone. He was the temple, president of that temple, and he said, "Well, yeah, this is a temple. We have monks living here, and there's a famous Swami who's going to be speaking at the Indian embassy in 4 days in Paris. His name is Bhakti Charu Swami, and you can go visit if you want."
I know him.
So I called my friend Ai Kipman, this Vietnamese adopted boy who's adopted by a Jewish family. We went to the same school together. I say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to go visit, to a program where this Indian Swami speaking. Would you like to come?" He's like, "Okay." So we went to this Indian embassy, and there was like an auditorium. We sat down. There was some Bharat Natyam dancing performance, which really didn't impress me. Sorry to all the Bharat Natyam dancers out there. But then this Swami came on stage and started speaking about reincarnation and Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
And to me, that was just like, oh my God, this is it. I felt like I've found the truth. I found what I'm looking for philosophically. The idea that we live eternally, life after life, and I felt like I was being regressed to past lives as I was hearing.
So you have simply found
what I'm looking for. Yeah. And then at the end of the program, there was a Kirtan. And I think that leads me to the third experience.
Okay. Number 3.
Which is not so much a one-time experience, but it's a repeated experience I've had for 24 years.
Okay.
And that is what I believe is the happiness and the peace that I repeatedly experience, maybe in a microscopic level, but at least enough to keep doing it the next day, either by complete folly or by actual experience, which I hope is the latter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Kirtan. That is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. That experience is kind of like the central piece.
Okay. Could you explain in 3-4 sentences what is Kirtan and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra?
It's the sonic or sound-related dimension of spirituality. It's the idea of meditating on focusing on the sound representation of the divine or God or Krishna in the Bhakti tradition.
See.
And therefore by connecting through the ear principally with the sound vibration or the sound representation of God, for example in the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, etc., one is in a state of union, theoretically, or connection with God by connecting with His name, His holy name.
Okay. Could you, in full, mention the Hare Krishna mantra? We will fade it in here for you.
It is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, like he doesn't know it. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay. Okay.
So that mantra, the chanting this mantra, has been really the foundation of my spiritual life since that encounter, in 1994 with Bhakti Charu Swami and everything I've done since then, from traveling to going back to university to doing some outreach work in Poland to so many projects I've been involved in. The common denominator has been this chanting all along. So I would say that's been the third most important constant experience throughout.
That is already accompanying you, and it is expanding. It's revealing its meaning more and more.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you for hearing.
And really, I recommend to check out his channel. What's your channel all about?
The Easy Bhakti channel is geared towards people who are searching for spirituality, people who are interested in Bhakti yoga, people who may start to believe in karma and reincarnation and the soul, and who may want to look for alternatives within the monotheistic framework, alternatives to the Abrahamic traditions. So it's generally about spirituality and specifically about Bhakti yoga, giving references a lot to texts like the Bhagavad Gita and trying to make it really practical for everyday life.
So you call it Easy Bhakti you want to explain that Bhakti process in an easy way.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of try to make the practice of Bhakti yoga accessible and relevant to a modern, mostly urban context.
Nice. Yeah. So please check out his channel. I already are a fired up subscriber. I watch every single video.
Thank you.
And gives me a lot of inspiration. Yes. And he's also a big globetrotter. I call him sometimes Mr. Globetrotter because he's always around the world. So in his videos he also includes the scenic landscapes or the cities in which he is, and so it's a nice blend of sightseeing and really profound spiritual philosophy. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you guys, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And hope to see you again soon, and have a good journey to your next destination.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,